I think the big headline which also came out from the trading day today, of course, was JSW Infra IPO. Tell me all about it. I think our viewers are really curious. Day one saw just about 0.8%, 0.28%, 2.28% subscription. But take us through the details. What do we have?
Now, the JSW Infra IPO, which was much awaited on the street, finally opened today for subscription. Now, this is the first IPO from the JSW group in 13 years. The last time they came out with an IPO was back in 2010 when they carved out their energy business. Now, as of 3 p.m. today, JSW Infrastructure IPO was subscribed by about 0.28 times or 28%. Now, retail category saw an oversubscription of about 1.08 times, whereas the QIB book received no subscription. QIB players usually come near the end day of the opening of subscription. Now, NII book, which is the net, which is also category, was subscribed by about 0.3 times. Now, let me also give you a quick lowdown about the key dates of JSW Infra IPO. Now, the IPO, as we know, opened today. It will be open till September 27th, which is Wednesday. Now, the basis of allotment, which is basically the date on which it is decided how many shares each investor would get, is October 3. Investors who are not allotted, shares of JSW Infra will get refunds back in their bank account on October 4th.
T+1 is kicking in right now. We can see this kicking in.
Exactly.
Right.
So, and the shareholders and the investors who get allotment in the IPO will get their shares credited to the demat account on October 5th. And the listing date, at least as of now, tentatively is expected to be October 6th. So, the price band of the issue was fixed at about 113 to 119 rupees, and the lot size of the IPO is fixed at 126. So, this means that retail investors who wish to subscribe to the issue have to bid for a minimum of 126 shares or in multiple of 126 shares thereafter. Now, as we know that you can't bid for more than 2 lakh worth of shares, the IPO, the maximum amount of lots that you can bid for in the JSW Infra IPO is 13, which works out at about 1638 shares. The minimum application amount for retail investors, Karthik, at the upper band works out to be about 14,994, whereas the maximum investment is capped at 1,94,922. Now, let's also look at the IPO size. Now, JSW Infra plans to mop up around 2,800 crore from the public issue. Now, of this, the company has already raised about 1,260 crore from anchor investors on September 22nd, which also included, Monetary Authority of India, of Singapore, Morgan Stanley, Goldman Sachs, Government of Singapore, HSBC, the Master Trust of Trust Bank of Japan, and so on. And the IPO, Karthik, is completely a fresh issue of shares. So, there is no offer of sale from the promoter group, and the entire issue will be of fresh equity, fresh issue of equity shares. Now, looking at the objectives of the IPO, now the proceeds will be used to repay debt of about 880 crores, whereas about 1,029 crore will be spent on funding for funding capital expenditure requirements. Looking at the financials of JSW Infra, in the last 3 years or so, the assets of the company have grown at a CAGR of about 9.5% from 7,191.85 crores in FY20 to about 9,450 crores in FY23. Now, revenue has grown at a CAGR of about 40% from 1,237 crore to 3,372 crore. Profit after tax, Karthik, has surged a whopping 56% in the last 3 years, from 196.53 crores to 749 crores, whereas the net worth or the market capitalization of the company has grown at a CAGR of about 17% from 2,488 crores to 3,934 crores in FY23.
All right, Sayash, JSW Infra IPO that opened today, 25th September, open till Wednesday. I think the only thing that comes to mind, Sayash, is that on a 3x, almost 3x revenue growth, profit after tax has gone up about 4 times. So I think that is one key metric that any potential investor would be looking at very closely, that, hey, this seems to be a high margin sort of a business to be invested in. But
and their margins are better than Adani, which is their direct competitor.
Absolutely.
Like JSW Infra is the second biggest port operator. Adani Ports is the top biggest.
Absolutely.
So they have a margin of about 50%. They currently have a margin of about 56 to 57%.
Super. Thank you so much for those insights, Sayash.